Wonderful. Namaste. Blessings, everyone. Akasha here, nanakasha.com. I'm so honored and excited to be with you today. So we are starting a 3-day challenge, and we're going to dive right into day one. We've got our Sacred Affinity Healing Chamber formed already. So welcome. You're entering sacred space. I always have this as an energy worker, an intuitive, a priestess, a shaman, and decades and decades of doing this work in this life, not to mention others. I understand how important it is to clear and cleanse our body, our space, our mind. And my intention is always to be a clear and open channel for the highest good of all concerned. So thank you for joining. Come on in, enter the space, allow yourself to resonate, to release, to relax, and come into this sacred space so that you too can receive exactly what is here for you. Whether you hear it with your ears, you feel it with your senses, or your skin, or your DNA, or your inner eye, or your intuitive clairaudience, or whatever it is, there is a part of you that is here, that is receiving all kinds of blessings already, because I work on multiple dimensions at all times. So, hi. Wonderful to see you. So I'm very excited. I just finished a private client session. It's always so inspiring to me to get to work with people and to see the transformation. That is my purpose. That's my dharma, my duty, my agreement with the universe is to come, go through my own stuff and constantly understand a new level of who we are, how we create our reality, what's holding us back, what we truly came to do, and that it's already here for us. So come on over to nanakasha.com and make sure that you get on our list, and we will remind you of what we're up to. We will let you know about some fun things, and also subscribe here. You should have all the links you need to connect with me below. And don't forget to watch the show from yesterday, the Your Phoenix Rises. It was an incredibly beautiful, loving experience talking with Diana, one of my clients for about 12 years. We are co-creating an amazing retreat in Canada in the late June in a lake house. We have an incredible Indigenous woman healer we're bringing in from quite far away who's going to cook for us. She's going to take us through a shamanic drumming circle. She's going to bless the land. We're going to be working with water magic and a grid worker who's been traveling all the world. Whenever she was called somewhere on the planet to do grid work, she went. So she's going to help us create crystal waters. We're going to be in a beautiful house together with a jacuzzi, sauna, 2-minute walk to this lake inside the woods. There's just so much beauty. But what we really talked about was the opportunity for love, community, transformation, and what does it mean? This idea of the fire year and the phoenix. And at the end, I guided a very powerful phoenix experience. So make sure that you watch that. And then every single day, the next 3 days, today and the next 2 days, we're going to be doing this 3-day challenge. So I want to let you know a few things before we dive in. However, this is a idea, this is a concept that is so profound. It is at the core, it is at the foundation, it is underneath every single thing you do, everything that you perceive, everything that you are frustrated with, everything you're happy with, everything that you want, that you wish for, everything that you would like to be more creative or kind of understand more, what your true passion is, your powers are. What we're going to talk about today is going to affect everything: your relationships, your family harmony, your inner peace, your self-love, your self-sabotage, your business or your income, or what you do for that, or how you feel about money, or what kind of patterns that you repeat that we might call karma, because we're redefining that to understand that it's actually a graceful power if we understand what it does. And we're going to take the key, which will unlock regardless of what part of your life, your health, your body. Maybe you hate your body. Maybe you've judged your body. Maybe you fear your body. I spent a lot of years overweight, and I judged my body. I hated my body. I felt embarrassed of my body. And those words, those feelings, and those images create. And they don't just create like more weight, they create other toxins within us. We are literally the creators of our reality. There's nowhere else that our reality can be created. There isn't a goddess or a demon outside of us that is punishing us. There isn't a government or an economy or a doctor or a friend or a mother or a father or a situation in your finances or your health that is in charge of you. So my goal is to constantly put you back into your own personal power, back into the truth of who we are versus the conditioning we've had, not just in this life and this culture for most people, but for thousands and thousands and who knows how many years on this planet. We have been separated from the source, which is inside of us. And everything else is a reflection, literally, not just a cute concept and a foo-foo idea of who we are being, what we believe, the self-image we hold of ourselves, the words that we speak with, the things we think, the actions we take, and the feelings we take them with. There's a lot that we've all learned. We've read many, many books. We've watched The Secret. We've been through the New Age. We have a plethora, overflowing plethora now of people teaching, channeling courses. It's interesting to me that I used to try to say some of the things people are talking about now, and nobody even knew what I was talking about. Multi-dimensions and light bodies and chakras and channeling and all this kind of stuff. So it's wonderful that we live in this time of amazing abundance, that all of these possibilities are opening up. Yet everyone doesn't have the solution. You have it inside of you. Now, you might take a course or do a meditation or come to a show like this and have an aha and have a beautiful breakthrough. And I get lots of feedback. I know that everybody that comes to my shows, my classes, my retreats has massive breakthroughs. And whether you know it or not, you realize it or feel it or see it at the time or not, depending on what you're thinking, what your expectations are, what your general attitude is about who you are and your self-image, these are going to affect how you receive whatever you're doing. So if you're chasing the next class, if you think I have to read this book and then this book, if you've got a list of things that you didn't do that you need to go back and do, really take a moment to listen within. Are you holding on to something because you feel like if I do that, then I'll be happy? Are you thinking that you didn't do it well enough? That was me most of my life, right? I have to do more. I have to do it better. If you have these feelings, if you have these sensations, if you have these beliefs that you have to change things, you have to learn something before you can be happy, before you can start to actually visualize, affirm, and speak the reality that you wish for, which most people don't even know what they would really like in their life. That's another thing we're going to open up today in our book of Manifesting Secrets. Then there is something that isn't necessarily, oh, I have to do that. It's something inside of you that says, I'm missing something. Now, it could be the key. I'm not telling you I always tell my client I just finished with, we did an incredibly powerful process. And she was just like, oh my gosh, that hit everything. And it was amazing. And then I listened to her spirit because I'm a visionary and I can see energy. I feel energy. I channel. I travel dimensions. I'm trained as a shaman. We do soul retrieval. We do past life, whatever you want to call it. We go into your Akashic records, whatever term you want to give it, we do it. And so I said, do this at least twice a day. repeat it, listen to it. So repetition is a secret power. It is a secret. So I'm not telling you don't repeat something or don't go back to a powerful class or don't, because I do. I'll reread the same book, or I'll reread the same thing that I wrote or lesson, or I'll go back and do my own activations. I'll do these. I usually do all the ones that I do on here at least that night, at least once. So there is a power in repetition, but it depends on how you're doing it. If your intention is that, oh, I have all these to-dos and they're building up on you and they're causing you stress, and you feel like I can't succeed, I can't be happy, I won't be healthy, whatever it is that is your goal, your dream, your idea that you want, until I do that, then you're actually blocking what you want because you're putting things in between. But it isn't to say that some of those things won't actually support you and help you, because we have habits. We have habits that are embedded in our cells, in our DNA, in our bones, have memories, and we have ancestral lineages that live within us, and we carry the trauma and fear from our ancestors. As we heal and clear that, then it is wound back through those different places. We call it time. Everything exists at the same time. And it also goes out to the future potential lives, selves, and experiences that are around us. But we can actually change, nowadays we would call it jump timelines, quantum leap to a different timeline or a different reality. And that's one way to put it. Whatever, whatever current words are really working for you, that, oh, I get it now. That's great, because everyone says things differently. If you resonate with a religious type of language, then, and it frees you and uplifts you, then feel free to do that. If you resonate with more of a neutral language like source and the universe and that kind of thing, then do that. And remember that messages may come to you and you can change the words if you understand the underlying gift or medicine or energy in it. And you don't, there were many years of my life, I did not say the word God. I certainly didn't say Jesus. I felt that religion in itself was very hypocritical. And it took me, my own healing, to get to the point where I could go underneath the story that we've created, and the history we have of using these different things to manipulate and control each other, and that we are coming free from now. But now we're in the era of Aquarius. And what is that? That's independent spiritual expression, freedom, and innovation. So that means that we are no longer have to be inside of this family dynamic and agree to and please everybody inside that dynamic, whether it was grandma who's no longer alive or mother or daughter who is. It is not that you reject them, although sometimes it's helpful to not get around family or other negative people, because they do project negative energies onto you and they attach to you like an entity would be the best way to talk about it, an energy. So what we're going to do over these 3 days is open up some ancient mysteries, some ancient secrets that were held in secret places, were held within people, within certain texts, within certain carvings all over Egypt, temples. Those are alchemical texts. The ones that have survived in the Maya land, the same thing. Everywhere you go, there may be a sculpture, there may be a book, there may be a symbol, like the caduceus from Greece. We have in the Western world our democracy, so to speak, our hospitals, a lot of our philosophy. We think it comes from before that, but we attribute it to a Greek, a certain time in ancient Greek culture. Not necessarily ancient, but Greek culture. And the caduceus is used as the symbol on all the hospitals. It is actually a symbol of our light body. It is a symbol of two snakes going like this up a staff, and at the top, the staff has a ball and wings. And the two snake heads come up to here, and then they open their mouth right here. Well, that symbol holds enormous wisdom, power, magic, ability to open doors, ability to trigger memories. It is a healing symbol. Just looking at it, wearing it, seeing it in your house has infinite power that we only know a tiny little bit of what it truly means. It is representing the coiled potential of your divine soul that's here in your Genesis crystal, in your sacral, where your 8 original cells in your body are, which also hold your soul's blueprint, your life path, all of the things you want to manifest, all the things you want to end, all the patterns you want to uncreate, and the infinite, unimaginable, magnificent potential that you hold. And when we free that and it balanced masculine and feminine, it rises, it does this in every chakra. Our chakras are gateways, they're energy portals that bring energy to our body, our physical body, our physical etheric auric body, our emotional, mental, spiritual, causal, Buddhic bodies. And when they are freed in balance and they cross in each chakra, they create an opening. Any symbol of an X, they're all over Mayan temples here, is an intersection. That is a point in space and time that opens a doorway to a new timeline or to the past, present, future, another planet or whatever. So what that symbol means is that true health and freedom is in being in balance of masculine, feminine, freeing your own personal potential that's living inside of you and letting it rise, activate every one of these gateways so that you become this being that is radiating from the infinite wealth, riches, intelligence, love, joy, peace inside of you, because you are source. You are God, Goddess. You are Mother, Father, God. You are the only source of what can create your reality. And then what it means when the two snakes are, they're right here at this third eye chakra, and they open they have their mouths open because it means that energy that is now risen up and crossed and created all of these openings, all of these portals, is now pouring that energy into this third eye. And that is freeing all the glands in your brain, between your two sides of your brain, activating this is the pituitary pineal, and together they open the wings. That's why there's wings at the top, and that ball represents your pineal gland, which is like a lotus or a pine cone that opens up. And these are all antennas, and opens you up to perceive, receive, and connect to the infinite dimensions, infinite field of abundance, all the Akashic records, and who you are. And those wings are open because now you are free, because you personally have reconnected yourself back directly to source. You're connected here into the Mother Earth through your body. You're connected here to the higher self, the source, and to the infinite, and to all the dimensions in between. And now you are a creator that is being fed 24/7 with an infinite flow of energy that is divine. That means outside of the physical realm. It doesn't have limitations, right? It isn't couched inside of our beliefs and, oh, there's not enough time and money and all this kind of idea. That's just an illusion, because we're infinite. And then when we bring that into the body and we awaken the truth in our body, now all of our ancestral DNA patterns, agreements, vows, they can be released. And the wisdom that we knew, the wisdom we carried, but we made vows. I'm never speaking up again because I got my head chopped off. I'm never going to let anybody know I'm a healer, or I'm an intuitive, or I'm talking to angels or trees because I was burned at the stake, or I was outcast from my family, or I was criticized, or I was embarrassed, or I lost all my money. So we have a plethora, we have so many of these decrees, agreements, and beliefs that we brought with us. And there was a reason, because we also brought with us that potential to break free from them, to transmute them, to shape shift them, and become the creator of a new world. That's where we are right now. We're in the consciousness, the ninth wave of consciousness of unity, which means unite your masculine, feminine, unite your spirit and your body, unite your vision, your ancient self, your wisdom, and your future self, and be here in this eternal now moment. There isn't anything else, by the way, to understand that it is up to you to speak with authority what it is you wish to create, to experience, to receive, to give. Everything you say goes out, becomes a thing, affects people, never ever dies, lives forever in the Akashic field, is imprinted, and comes back to you multiplied tenfold, 10,000-fold, 10 million-fold, I don't know. So it's not just the scripture that says, bless your money and then it will go out and come back to you tenfold. Well, that's lovely. And that's definitely something I highly recommend to use your power of your words for. However, if you blame someone, if you get mad at someone, if you say, nothing works out for me, why does this always happen? Why does it have to be difficult? I wish this was different. That happened to me, therefore I can't. This person needs to do this before I can be happy. I want money. Where's the money? Why isn't the money here yet? All of the things we're saying are sabotaging ourselves. They're literally creating lack in our physical reality, because physical reality is pure light and vibration. It's a hologram, and it's a reflection of what we say, what we feel, and what we speak. And it is reflecting all of the beliefs that we've had through this life, all of the ancestral traumas we brought into this life. And we came because we have within us the power to transmute all of it and live joyful, peaceful, happy in every moment. Now, I want to give a caution. This is not, I'm going to say this 3 days in a row and then everything will be perfect in my life. Why isn't it perfect now? I better go run and do a different thing. The biggest issue right now is that we have so many choices. We're so abundant with ideas and things, is that it is more common to not give any opportunity for what we experience as a true breakthrough, as true wisdom, as a revelation of actual, honest to goodness secrets, powers that are wisdom within us, to take hold in our reality. We have habits. We have habits, neural pathways in our brain and our nervous system and around us, and people will trigger those habits and we will react without thinking. Everyone has them. There's no point in getting upset about it. We have to acknowledge that it is real so that we sustain consistently and we are persistent in taking back our voice, our words, our thoughts, our feelings, to become the creator we wish to be able to live in the reality that we would truly desire. And the fun thing is as you get on this journey, you decide to surrender your doubt, your disbelief, and you decide that you're going to transmute those patterns and habits no matter how long you've had them. You've decided you're going to listen to your own inner voice. You're going to come to these classes. You're going to come to my class that starts next Monday. You're going to come. We've changed the class to be once a week. We had so many requests not to do it twice a week. We're going to start on Monday. So whatever it is that is truly revealing to you, your power to create your reality, then take the time to suspend your disbelief, give it your time and focus, repeat it, write it down, speak it into the world. Speaking out loud is very different than thinking something. Writing something with your hand on paper is completely different than just thinking it. And then when you feel something, all those things, your thoughts, your words, your speaking, and your feelings affect each other. And then they are the genesis of your action. So we are in a physical body, yet we're divine. We're one with infinite source. There's an infinite storehouse of riches within us. This is truth. It is not an opinion. I didn't make it up. This is ancient truth. So one of the reasons I believe Source deconstructed my life many, many times, and especially in the beginning, I worked really hard. I was trying to please everyone. I was becoming the best at everything. I wanted to win the approval of my parents. I wanted to make a lot of money so that everybody would think I was good enough. And I was on that, chasing that idea of cultural success. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with having money. There's nothing wrong with having a nice house. There's nothing wrong with it, but it isn't the goal. And it comes from you mastering your mind, mastering your words, mastering your feelings, and mastering your actions. But they all come together as one. So this 3 days are about 3 keys to opening this secret that is going to share with you something you may have heard, but you've never heard it like this. You may think you know. Don't shut the door on learning. Oh, I know that. I've heard that. It didn't work for me. You've just sealed your fate. You've just sabotaged yourself. Because when you say, oh, I've done that, I know that, or whatever, now you shut the door. You've told yourself, oh, I can't learn anything from that. There's nothing new there. Have you ever read a book a year later or 10 years later and read stuff you didn't even remember? You're a completely different person now than you were 10 minutes ago, 2 years ago, 50 years ago. Okay. So there is wisdom. Love is. Truth is. It's not dependent on your beliefs, your choice, because look around the world. People believe a million different things. It doesn't mean they die if they don't believe one thing. It doesn't mean they can't make money if they don't all believe one thing. It doesn't mean that they can't have happy relationships or a healthy body if they don't all believe one thing. The one truth is pure, unconditional love. For us to be able to embody that, we have to decide to speak it, to raise it from within our bodies, our cells, our minds, and resurrect the part of us that knows that we're divine, that does not feel unworthy, does not feel lack, does not feel separate from, and does not fear allowing our truth to come to the surface. So we have, yes, a lot of challenges happening now. The perception that things are falling apart, and it's bad. It's not. It's all leading to the best possible outcome. And we have to get out of the way and find our path to be the beacon of light. If you are getting involved in the conversation of, that person's bad and this and that or whatever, you're just creating more of it with your words, with your thoughts, with your feelings, and with your actions. And then if you go find other people to complain to or to tell them how bad your day was, other than someone like me, if you're mentoring with me or you're in a class, then we have created a sacred space that does not create from you sharing that. Then we acknowledge it, we confront it, we agree with it, we accept it, we let it go. That has to happen. You can't just go around suppressing, I don't want to feel bad, so I'm never going to talk about how I'm carrying guilt, grief, blame, anger, and condemnation, and craving, and disappointment around. We have to acknowledge that we're creating this. And we have to say, what do I want? I don't want to feel mad anymore. I don't want to feel like I never get what I want anymore. I don't want that. So in my Wishes Fulfilled course last year, and in the workshop, which you can get on the shop, the first thing we start with is, what do you want? Even though if you have studied language, saying I want means you don't have. So we will be getting into these nuances and these truths that actually make all the difference in what you're already doing, how you feel, and the results that you will get. And that's the bottom line. I want you to be empowered. I want you to feel within you the rising sense that you already have everything you need. You don't have to seek it. You don't have to please other people. You don't have to worry about it. As a matter of fact, if you're having a big stressful situation, go to the beach, go on vacation, take time off, go to a retreat. Don't sit at home and say, oh, I have to worry about this and I have to figure it out. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? That's not going to help, because you're staring at what you don't want and you're speaking what you don't want and you're thinking you have to figure out how. And you are not the one to figure out how, because you might figure out how, but is it really going to be the best how? Is it going to come with ease, grace, beauty, joy, love, abundance? No, not at all. So come to my Canada retreat or to Scotland or to something, go somewhere to get out of your routine, because who you're hanging out with, if you're in your same house, looking at the same things, worrying about your laundry, answering your phone, getting up, doing the same routine every day, you're stuck and you're a slave. You're living out a slave pattern. And it's what we often call karma, even though karma is not determining, or divine timing. Those are not determining that you have to suffer or you have to repeat this pattern. You are determining that. And you may not know that. So there is no blame here. You're not supposed to go into guilt and blame and anger towards yourself or me or your past or other people, because now you just dropped to the bottom of the scale and you're wandering around in very dark, heavy energies. And it's very difficult to find that light, to believe the truth, to speak it, but you can. Many people have found their way, found their light from in the darkest and deepest places of challenge and trauma in life. We are not victims of trauma. We are not victims of circumstance, and we are not victims of anyone else. And I am not in any way dishonoring anything you've been through. I know that we are aware of a lot of horrible things that people have done to each other now and in the past. However, if we dwell on it, if we talk about it, if we want to talk to other people about it, if we want people to agree to us, just be aware, if that's your choice, that you are making a choice to bring more of that pain, anger, and disempowerment into your life. The biggest thing I can give you right now is for you to realize you are the only person who can use your word as the powerful spell program that it is to change the program of the reality you live, from the health in your body, from the money in your bank or not, from relationships, no matter what has happened to you. We love to read stories about people who have overcome massive adversity, massive challenges, horrific abuse. Why? Because they did it. Because no one did it for them. No one rescued them. I'm not saying that you don't help people in need. Please be generous, okay? It's one of the things that is a core principle of living a divine life aligned with your duty to the universe. To be in a body is to be abundant, to be joyful, to be prosperous, to live in infinite riches in whatever way that you want. You want more spiritual riches. Maybe you don't care about $1 million. You just want some peace, some good family, friends, and time that you can be in nature, or you want to do your art, or you want to play music, or you want to find groups of people who love what you do and co-create interesting things. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to explore. We are supposed to do that. We are not supposed to be confined to a life that we were told we have to live. None of that is true. And today I give you permission from this moment forward to reject every limiting belief, contract, vow, and self image that you have ever agreed to, so that right now you are going to begin inside of this sacred space between the worlds to unravel anything that has been holding you back and give yourself the gift to stay with what I'm going to share with you long enough for it to show up in your life. Because it could show up in 5 seconds. You may feel it, you may see it, you may have an epic experience, you may spend the rest of the day feeling really positive. Then you may wake up tomorrow and not feel so good. Then you might say, oh, it didn't work, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Guess what you just did? It didn't work. When's it going to work? These are your words. They're speaking your reality into form. You are creating. Thoughts are things, words create things, give life force to the things you thought of, and then your feelings fill it. So I've built many, many businesses. Some of them went to $1 million and then crashed 3-4 years later, and everything in between. What made the difference? What was going on there? Well, because I didn't understand these secrets, these truths, these alchemical processes that the ancients embedded into temples and into stones that live in the bones of our other lives in the ground, that live in the trees, that live in the roots, that live in the waters, that is the true essence within us. So this is practical and spiritual. This is esoteric and exoteric. This is the truth, because alchemy is true transmutation, transfiguration, and shape shifting. And what you want is for your life to change in a tangible way. You want that loving relationship. You want to look in the mirror and say, I love myself genuinely. You want family harmony. You want more money flowing into you. You want to do a job or create a business or express yourself in a way that flows abundance to you, maybe in cash, but in other beautiful ways with ideas and co-creations and finding out about amazing things happening around the world. One of my clients went to a flower power cruise, and she comes from spending a lot of her life not having fun, and she made the decree to have fun and got invited to this cruise that was all a bunch of 60s bands, and they would paint flowers and dress up and dance all night. And she said it was fun. Now, did that produce her income? Was it practical? Was it realistic? Did it change these other things in her life? Not in the way we think, but that did more for her spirit, for her physical health, for every other aspect of her life, because she had fun, because she got out of her routine, because she left her everyday life and all the people in it who are thinking in a certain way and speaking in a certain way and keeping the current reality solid around you. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to reject everyone in your life, although you may find that you will evolve, or you are, or you have evolved to a point where there's just certain people that what's the point of being around them, because they're constantly a victim. They're constantly in trauma. They're constantly overwhelmed. They constantly have too much to do. They're constantly behind. They're constantly sick. They're constantly having something. Now, it isn't to judge them. You want to feel compassion, because we've all been there. Boy, have I been there. Been there. That's why I'm teaching this, because I've won and I've lost and I've wondered why. And then I've gone deeper, and my daughter died, and I had a bankruptcy, and I got disowned from my mother, and I've had every sort of epic thing, not everything, but so many things happen, where the reality that I built through hard work and intention, and yes, spirit, learning another level of spirituality, but then I had another level of reality that had to come. I had to realize that even though I was doing those things, I wasn't believing I was worthy. And that belief is what creates. You do not get what you want. You get what you believe, because belief is where you put your confidence. It's where you put your power. It is what you have agreed to as truth. So I don't believe that I need to watch football on Sunday. It is not a belief I have. I don't care. I could care less. I don't know who's doing what in football. But there's somebody who loves football. There are people who think it's the greatest thing ever. It brings them joy. It brings them together with friends. It creates their best part of their whole week. And they would never imagine missing football on Sunday. That's their choice. So we have a choice. And that choice goes back to realizing there is no one outside of us that has the power to take anything from us, to deny us, or to create in our reality unless we have given that power to them. Most of these are in the subconscious. So it isn't that you know all your patterns and habits, but I'm sure you know many of them. I'm sure that you've come a long, long way. Nobody is here right now alive on this planet that hasn't evolved, that hasn't realized, that isn't way better than you used to be. So don't validate yourself. Don't defend yourself. Like, oh, but I'm way better than I used to be. But I don't feel as bad as I did. I understand this better. Good for you. Celebrate yourself. Look in the mirror and say, totally stuck it, baby. Totally stuck it. I'm awesome. Now let's go to the next level. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You do not have to validate why you want to have fun, why you wish to feel free, why your desire is to be a painter or a musician or to travel the world or to dance around in ceremony with Native Americans. Okay. You can do anything you want, but we have lived in a prison of the mind. We have been living in a prison, believing that there is a lack of time, a lack of money, a lack of belief, a lack of energy, a lack of whatever, and that we have to be this slave that lives the same boring, horrible life that never ends, and then we die. Now, if you know people who want to go work a job they hate, buy a bunch of beers, sit in front of the TV every night, or go hang out at a bar, or do whatever they like, or go fishing or whatever, and that's all they do, and they live their whole life that way, and they never raise their consciousness, they never give to other people, they judge people, they hate people, they're prejudiced, they believe it's okay to be racist and whatever, that's their right. Leave them alone. Let them, as that book says. I've never read that book, but I've been teaching that theory for 1,000,000 years. Leave them alone. That's their reality. They get to decide. They're creating their own bliss or their own hell through their mind, their thoughts, their words, their feelings that then generate their actions. They may or may not wake up and agree with you. You don't have to wait for anyone to agree with you. You never have to wait for anyone to agree with you. Now, if you are a parent and you're taking care of children, please respect your role, okay? But you probably have relationships where you've enslaved yourself, you've sacrificed yourself, you've agreed to do everything for everyone or give them all your money or put your own dreams aside for this, that, or the other thing. And unless there is truly and honestly a reason for it, like my kids are 3 and I can't just abandon them and go dance with a tree right now, I'm the one in charge, okay? Then take a look at it. Be willing to sit with it, look at it without hating it, without feeling like a victim, without deciding that that's what it means, and change what you say, what you feel, and what you think about it. And then you will generate a new action. Now, I want you to realize that thoughts, feelings, and actions all affect each other. If you change what you say, you're going to change how you feel, and then you'll change what you do. If you change what you do or how you act or how you feel, like you stand up tall and you hold your shoulders back and you walk around and you say, wow, I totally stuck it today. I'm exceeding my expectations. I'm amazing. I'm divine. I'm full of infinite riches. And I may not know how. Please use that. I don't know how. The universe knows how. I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't know where my new apartment is coming from. I don't know where my new job is coming from. I don't know how I'm going to pay these bills. I don't know how I'm going to heal my body. I don't know whatever. Let it go, because ease and grace and infinite solutions, or what you might call miracles and magic and doors, will open because the universe has it. They know 1,000,000 ways to do something and we don't. So we're going to unravel those patterns that we've been fed, that live in our ancestral DNA, that make trauma and lack and fear Be the real essence. And we're going to break that pattern for us. And it goes back down your lineage, and it goes forward into your, whether you have kids or not, it goes forward into your life, and it goes out into every time space continuum that there is. And now you are gifting the world. If you truly want to help the world, if you want to solve pollution, human trafficking, abuse, animal abuse, if you have a soft spot for any of these things, I'm not telling you not to care, but you have to turn your back on the victim. You have to turn the back on going, this is a terrible thing. This is not a terrible thing. This is a thing that I am choosing to bring light to. This is a thing that I am choosing to bring an enlightened perspective to free the whole world. You're not responsible for the whole world, but when you do it, your reality changes at that level. I am going to hold the light. I am going to be the fountain. I'm going to be the one that goes inside, realizes that I am infinite, that I come from the infinite, that I have nothing denied me, that spirit, the universe is standing right here, right now. Abraham Hicks used to call it your vibrational escrow. Everything you've said, I want this, I wish that, I'd love this, and I had a vision, and this was so nice. And once I got to make a lot of money, but then it stopped, and it was so wonderful, and I would like that again. That's all sitting in your vibrational escrow. She used to say, back during my divorce, I listened to the CDs nonstop because it was one of the few positive things I could find that would keep my mind out of the gutter, that would keep my mind out of the fear and the pain and the anger and the anxiety that I was going through, becoming homeless and losing everything and being disowned and all these things. Or when my daughter died and I didn't want to live. We go through these things, but we only go through them because we create them. And because we have the strength, the wisdom, and the power to handle it. But we're not here to survive it. I'm strong despite this horrible wound I got. That's not the point. The point is like, oh, that's interesting. I'm not sure where it came from. It's important for me to know. I'm willing to hear. But now I'm going to say, I'm choosing no longer to have that belief. Let me unpack this wound. Let me walk into this dark cave within me. Let me confront, face, and find those parts of me that I've hidden, that I've locked away, that I've been afraid of, my voice, speaking up, and so on. And I'm going to now free them with my words, my thoughts, my feelings, and my actions. The easiest thing to do out of all of these is to change how you act, how you stand, how you feel in your body, how you walk around, looking in the mirror. Find that place within you. Draw the energy up from Earth, Source, God, Mother. Draw it down from the infinite. Call in the fairies. Call in the nature spirits, the wisdom of the wind. Whatever you relate to. What is it that you love? I'm a Jaguar medicine woman, means that I studied with the Maya and got initiated into a lineage called Balam. And the Balam priests and priestesses, they learned all the different cosmovision wisdom of the infinite, but they specifically related to the concept, the essence of the jaguar for a lot of different reasons. Maybe you relate to dolphins. Maybe you relate to Nike, this beautiful goddess, Greek goddess of victory, or Isis, or what else do we have here? Kuan Yin, or Thoth, or sacred geometry, or crystal kingdom, or whatever. Everything is divine, source, energy, full of infinite flow and abundance, just like you and me. There is no thing that's dead, and there is no thing that is absolute in physicality. Everything is vibrating at a different rate. So when you learn to take your word back, you now stop unintentionally and subconsciously sabotaging yourself, speaking lack, pain, and fear, perpetuating your diseases, your physical health challenges, your financial challenges, your fear in relationships, your feeling unloved or unworthy, and whatever else that you have been dealing with. You came, and there is nothing you can't handle. And that is one of the things that I finally understood after my daughter died. That is the reason I am here. The other reason is Louise Hay. Louise Hay has a book that's called You Can Heal Your Life. At the top of every chapter was an affirmation. We tend to poo-poo affirmations now because, yes, a lot of us have said, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, and why am I not rich? Okay, that's what I'm going to teach you in this 3-day challenge and in the class starting Monday is why are the declarations not working? Why are the meditations not getting you the results you want? Why do you feel good for a little while and then not? What are the missing secrets and keys to the alchemical formula, to what the wisdom of the ancients have left us? And our future selves are here to work with us as well. The universe is not judging. It will never judge you as to what you did or what you're doing or how long you've taken to realize something. It doesn't judge you if you're fat, skinny, rich, poor, or rejected by your family, or have 1 foot, or live on the top of a mountain, or in a fancy $1 million mansion. The universe doesn't care. But it's not to say it doesn't care about you. It's willing to give you anything, anything, anything. Yet you have to follow the formula. You have to follow universal law because law is infallible. It is absolute. The laws of the universe, the Hermetic laws, the principles, and there's many, many more than the 7 in the Kabbalion. But Thoth, my beautiful Thoth, one of my very early spiritual teachers in my first mystery school, I'm a 5th level Melchizedek master. And in that school, I didn't really understand how to communicate with spirits. We had a spirit circle, guide, council, whatever you want to call it. And I was calling them in and I was repeating the activations and I was doing everything I was told. And I was working with sacred geometry and I was learning the secrets of the Mayan calendar. And I was unlocking the temple in Egypt and becoming the body. Our bodies are temples. There's all of these incredible wisdoms that are here for us. You don't have to know them all to be happy. You don't have to know even 10 of them to be happy if you learn what I want to teach you now and the nuances of it. So I first ask you to come and set down your disbelief. Just suspend it, put it by the door and say, I'll pick up my doubt and my suspicion and my lack of belief later. It's not going to go anywhere if you really want it back. You must come into this and give yourself a chance to hear, to listen, to learn, to go to 0 point, to be the child, to go to the beginner's mind. You can go into a lot of Zen and Buddhism and Tao, and there's a lot of these concepts, right? Beautiful concepts of being that 0 point, being the open student to the teacher. We are never, ever not learning. Every person we meet, if we're truly wise, can teach us. The wise learn from everyone. People who think they know it all, people who doubt, people who want to proclaim that this doesn't work and that doesn't work and I can't do it and it won't happen and this isn't realistic, that's their right. I'm not saying that they're wrong. They're just not going to create a life of happiness, but that's their choice. And they have a right to keep declaring that. But I don't have to live in their world, and neither do you. So when we make a decree and a decision and an agreement, which you're making as you enter here, and thank you for deciding it's time for you to become the radiant, abundant, overflowing, rich, material, spiritually, happiness, joy in every way being you agreed to be from the universe, and the universe agreed to support you, to give it to you, to provide it for you. The problem is communication and belief. We are not communicating in a way that is being heard by the universe. The universe has a frequency. If we are projecting things at a different frequency, it's like yelling into an empty vessel when you need to be speaking that song, singing that song to something that can start to vibrate and create and rise up and manifest a new doorway, a new soulmate, a new delightful experience, okay? So our communication through words, thoughts, feelings, and then actions is the key to become clear, to work with the patterns we have, the powers we have, the wisdom we have in this life, past lives, future lives, all around us. We don't have to know it all. We don't have to remember every life we had. We don't have to be the best at anything. We have to be the best at saying, I am the creator. And no one else steals my dreams. No one else is allowed to create in my life. I take back all the permission I have given to scarcity, to employers, to paychecks, to parents, to doctors, to bodies, to everything. It doesn't mean that you don't use these resources or enjoy these people, but on your terms. Because if they are determining your reality and your reality is not making you healthy, happy, aligned, feeling abundant, infinite, feeling like you're expressing your true creative powers, you're blissfully feeding back to the universe your agreement, which was to come here and be rich and wealthy and happy in all forms, that's truly your duty. Okay. I'm not joking. It's not a foo-foo. This is actually true. One of the biggest breakthroughs I've ever had was spending decades and decades of seeking my spiritual truth and learning these things and applying them and teaching them and having breakdowns and then coming back out of it and resurrecting myself and looking for the new truth and discovering where I was sabotaging myself and where I was creating more lack and where I'm blocking the abundance that the universe is giving me, was when I realized, and I got mad. I got real mad. And I'm giving you permission to do the same. You're not getting mad at anyone else. You're not getting mad at the past or the government or the president or the economy or this, that, the other thing. You have permission to get fed up with what you have believed, how you are speaking, how you are using your given from source. This is divine power that we each hold, and your duty to create a reality radiating from you, around you, and that you can enjoy. And then everyone else who says, ooh, that sounds fun, wants to come into your radiant field and your reality, would like to enjoy, of peace, joy, bliss, abundance, health, healing, whatever, name it. I got so shockingly angry, and it was awesome. Now, I didn't put it on anyone else, and I didn't carry it around, because it was that tipping point on my path. You never know, with all that you are doing, when you're going to have that quantum leap, when you're going to have that breakthrough that just shoots you into another universe, that completely sheds the skin and the beliefs and the image you've been carrying, that breaks the spell, that breaks the pattern, that quantum leaps you into a new timeline, and you never go back. That kills, dies, denies, and lets die on the vine every one of those limiting beliefs that you've been living inside of. That moment is so epically transformational, but so many people hold themselves back from their breakthrough, their breakdown. We've taught to just hang on. Oh, I don't love my job, but oh my gosh, I almost lost my job, so I saved it. Oh, I hate my relationship, but I keep saving my relationship. Oh, I need to wait till it's okay for this person, that person, whatever. You're being liberated by spirit, sometimes by your job or your business failing, sometimes by your marriage failing, sometimes by somebody getting angry at you and hating you and kicking you out of a club, or being rejected and being homeless. I don't know how it's going to manifest for you, but I can tell you that nothing is bad. It is what you decide to do with it. If you see it as a gift and you declare that it is a gift. And for me, my number one priority is to live my spiritual truth, to be a self-realized, big word there, it's not simple, spiritual teacher, and to take everything that I know, that I've lost, that I've experienced, and share it in a practical way that you can then use it in your life to be free. We are here to free ourselves. We're at the right place at the right time. We're in the year of the fire and the phoenix. We're in the year of the evolutionary moment of transmutation. Nothing is going back. Nothing is going to be the same. We can't keep acting the same. We can't keep dragging these old victim ideas with us. Well, we can, but all it means is pain and struggle. So you don't have to be a part of the world of pain and struggle. You don't have to agree with people who want to stay limited. You don't have to judge them and hate them, because you need to love yourself and everyone else. What you say and put out will come back to you 10,000 fold. So when that moment happened, it was so profound, because I no longer was working on getting that realization and embodying it at a new level. And where is the next little refinement and nuance of how I'm not really manifesting my life the way I want? And of course, more money, more joy, more love, more this, more that. It's all there. It's all possible. No one is saying that to be spiritual, you have to be poor. That's friggin' bullshit. So let that one go. But you also don't go chase money. You don't go chase approval from other people, because that's a life of misery, and it's vapid. It's not full. You look to become rich within, with joy and peace and harmony and beauty. I went for a walk this morning on the beach for about an hour and a half, and it was an exquisite day. The water was like glass. I could see these little fish that look like giraffes. They have that beautiful leopard fish, I think they're called. The sun was rising. My feet are talking to the sand and the crystals, and it's just absolutely being bathed in frequencies and songs and vibrations and healing and medicine of beauty that is endless, that gives, that is self-renewing. There's no lack. There's no lack. There's only lack we speak. There's only lack we agree to. There's only lack that we believe. And we have it in our DNA, and we've been trained with it in our culture. So we respect where we are, not deny where we are. Oh, everything's perfect. If it's not perfect, it's okay. You don't sit there and say, oh, it's okay. I'm grateful right now, this moment, for all this crap in my life. You say, wow, I'm fed up with all this crap in my life, and I know I'm the source of it. So now I'm going to say, you know what? I don't want that anymore. Spirit, God, source, angels, fairies, whatever, come to me now. My higher self, my truth, my past lives, come to me now. Help me to discover, to reveal, to let go, to shed, to free myself from this limited creation that I keep recreating. Everything exists in this now moment. There is nothing else than this eternal now moment. That means that the future exists in this moment. That means the past exists in this moment. That means if you speak of the past and you stay in the past and you go, well, this person hurt me and that happened to me and this terrible thing happened and I can't get over it and I want to talk about it, just know that you're deciding to pick that up and make more of it now. That's your choice. Respect yourself. Don't blame anyone else, and don't say you're unhappy if you keep choosing to do that. If you're living in the future, oh, I'm afraid of what's going to happen. What if I spend money and then I don't, and then it's all gone? And people thinking that money is like this limited resource. It's just energy. It comes from a million different sources. You don't have to figure out that how either, right? There's all kinds of ways to create the abundance you need. And will you allow it to come to you? Do you believe you're worthy of it? Do you think you deserve it? Do you think money is bad? Okay. These are what we're talking about. These thoughts, these agreements, these decisions, these decrees, these commands, these orders, speaking out loud. Do you know that abracadabra sounds funny to us because we saw fake little magicians, bing, 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 now a rabbit appears. It's actually ancient sacred language, ancient words, Sanskrit. Why do we say Om? Because it's the sound of the universe. It's the sound of everything. And if you want to talk to the universe and ask it to manifest something for you, you have to talk at Om. You have to vibrate at Om. That's the frequency. That's the language that it speaks. Okay? If you know Om Mani Padme Om, right? Or if you chant the chakra sounds, like for your heart, That's a frequency. It's a symbol. It's a vibration. It creates reality. It takes infinite substance and forms it into something. That's what you're doing. Your words are frequencies. They're putting frequencies into the world. And then all the infinite substance that has no form is reacting to your word and to what you feel about that word and to what you think about that word and to the actions you're taking around that word. So if you're incoherent, meaning you are not lining up the words, the thoughts, the feelings, and the actions, then there's going to be a disconnect at some point, and you're going to get a little bit of what you want, but maybe not all of it, or it's going to come in a way that you don't like, or it's going to come and it's going to go. This is common. We all have had roller coaster incomes, roller coaster relationships, all of that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's like the wizard picks up the, Mickey Mouse picks up the wizard's apprentice wand while he's sleeping and tries to use the power. That's what we're remembering, that we have the wand, that our tongue is our wand, our word is our wand. There's books that are called Your Word is Your Wand. This has been written about in the 50s, in the 20s, in the 1800s, in thousands and thousands of years ago. None of this is new. These universal laws have been truth forever, and they will never change. But you can't win a game and you can't enjoy a game if you don't know the rules and laws and you don't use them. And you're supposed to be happy, and you're supposed to give back to the universe joy and bliss and generosity and love every single day. So if you could, would you be willing to suspend your disbelief, to be a beginner's mind, to open your heart, to repeat something long enough until it actually started to create a change, to dissolve those old hardened arteries, those old neural pathways, those old ancestral DNA entanglements, those vows, those contracts that live in your mind, those beliefs, those mindsets? I invite you to. I invite you to take this journey with me. I invite you to gift yourself with this and to give it time, energy, focus, and positivity. Like, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. This is going to be the greatest thing ever. This is the greatest thing ever. Oh my gosh, that was the greatest thing I ever did. That was the greatest thing I ever did. All these things started to change. I felt different. And then, 2 days from now, 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now, whatever, this amazing thing happened. And I felt at peace when I went into this meeting and I spoke from grace and ease. Then this little thing came up and that magic thing happened. It isn't about, I manifested a parking spot and 4 people gave me money today. Those are all wonderful little things to manifest, but they are a sign of something bigger. You are the creator of your reality, and unknowingly, we have been sabotaging ourselves, speaking lack, pain, trauma into our lives, and therefore into our families and into the world. So if you truly care about others in the world, go inside and take care of yourself. Clean this up. Master your mind. Master your emotions. Look at where you're finding the challenges. Look at where you think it's hard. Decide it's no longer hard. Decide that it's a challenge, but it's a really exciting challenge. Did you go to university? Did you spend money and time studying for 4 years because you knew there was something at the end of that you wanted? Well, you can do the same with this, and it's not going to take you 10 lifetimes or 4 years. You're going to start to see results right away. But the first thing is going to be awareness. You're going to become aware. And that awareness is going to be something you're like, oh, look what I just said. Like last year when I was teaching, when I was working with the mastermind, we were meeting every week, which is really powerful, by the way. Talking about, how does this work? And I did that and it felt good, but then this happened. And why is this coming up? And we examined it. We looked at it. We didn't hide. We didn't try to pretend we were perfect. These coaching groups that say, oh, this person won today. Why didn't you win? And everybody feels guilty and stupid and embarrassed. And then they don't speak up, and then they go and they have doubt. Or people who tell you to what's your income goal? Oh, I want to make $10,000 a month. Well, double it and triple it. What's wrong with you? You big wimp. You should have a bigger goal. Well, now you just absolutely killed your chances of ever making money again. Why do I say that? Because you just generated doubt. If you don't believe you can have it yet, if you don't know how to speak it and align it with your inner thoughts, because how often when you learn not to say out loud as much? Well, I was saying in my group last year, we got to the point where I was like, as you hear it coming out of your mouth, you can just go, don't literally bite your tongue, but go, no. I remember many times when I was like, the habit, the reaction, the natural response was like, oh my God, this is happening again. Or, oh, isn't this a shit show? Or something. I realized right in the middle of saying it, no. It's an addiction. There's literally a craving within us for pain and fear and drama, and to relate to other people about, did you hear about this bad thing? I know, right? And then, and then. Well, you've just created a whole bunch of shit. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But you don't have to agree with other people and talk their limiting stories into reality. You're not helping them anyway. Let them find someone else to do that. Stop yourself when you hear or feel a negative feeling. If you're not feeling good, then there's something out of whack. And you stop, you look, you sense, you ask. You ask to be shown. You do a light body healing. You do a weave. You do some copal. You do some tapping. You pick up a crystal, you go outside, you breathe, you do some nice breath work. There's so many beautiful techniques to relieve the emotion and stress, to turn down that addiction we have to speak this stuff, because we've been doing it for so long and everyone else does it. So why can't I do it? Anybody ever tried to lose weight and you're like, I'm not eating bread and pasta and cake and all this crap anymore, for a lot of other reasons too. And then you go, but everyone else is eating a cookie. Why can't I eat a cookie? And then you turn it into this story of how you're this poor little girl on the outside of the candy store. And most of us have felt that way. So we're not like being mean to ourselves. We're not denying our wants. We're actually becoming the masters, becoming the one that manifests the true wishes of our desire, that we can walk every single day creating with confidence, because we're using the laws of the universe and they are supporting us. And the universe is showing up saying, way to go. Here's a new key. Here's a new door. Here's a new idea. Here's a new dream. Here's a new feeling. This is what we're meant to do. Walk in a flow of co-creation and speak it into being. So sometimes you start to stop speaking out loud negative things. And then you pay attention. But is your inner voice still saying it? And boy, I've been through that one, right? Where you're like, oh, not saying that negative thing out loud. And then whoop, the poor girl in your head goes, ba, 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 and it says it, right? So we are all in the same boat. You are not bad. You're not stupid. You're not behind. You're not in the wrong place. You're not whatever. You are perfect. You are magnificent. You are light. You are God. You're enormous. And if you become literally enamored with the idea that everything I want is inside of me, and I don't even know the really juicy things I came here to want, because it's so far out of my imagining that I couldn't even touch it now with my imagination. But I'm going to open to that sun. I'm going to allow that light to come within me. I'm going to illuminate the thoughts that I'm thinking. And then I'm going to be aware. Then I'm going to have my power back. Then I'm going to accept and allow and make a choice to receive a different idea. Just replace with a neutral word. And then you can go into replacing with a positive word. Oh, I'm afraid of that. Oh, I'm worried about you. I'm worried about you. I'm worried about this. I'm worried about this. I'm worried about this person. I'm not sure if I trust them. What if you change that? Just take it and make it neutral. Just say, I'm not sure if that's really aligned for my highest good. Well, I'll feel into that to see if this is the right person or place for me to be right now. Or how about saying, well, let me see if I can make that better. Maybe let me see what I really want. And if this is really the answer to my prayers or my order. If you ordered at a restaurant and they brought you the wrong thing, hopefully you don't say, okay, I used to. Hopefully you say, I'm sorry, this isn't what I ordered. Please take it back and fix it. You don't have to be mad and rude. You can be respectful and loving, please, because what you do, what you give out to others, how you feel, what you say, what you think, how you act, it's going to come back at you. Okay, it's going to come back at us. It comes back and kicks our butt. Do you want to be kicked butt anymore? No. You want to come back and say, I love you. I love you. I loved and respected all these people. And now suddenly love and respect is flowing to me, and I see it around me, and I love it, and then I amplify it. Okay. So your words have power beyond anything you can imagine right now. And like I said, you can look up old books, ancient scriptures. You can look in the Bible. You can look in the Quran. You can look in spiritual texts. You can look in all kinds of places, and it will constantly say the word is the creative power. There's actually these strange kind of quotes from a lot of these ancient texts that say your tongue, right? Your tongue is a wand, or your tongue creates, or I think one is you're hung by your tongue. That sounds a little scary. What does that mean? You're hung. That means like you're hanging there. It has control over you. You know, you want to make sure that you are expressing the divine love and light that you really are, because you aren't the lack, you aren't the trauma, you aren't the fear, you aren't what has happened to you. You are a divine, infinite being who has a very beautiful vision inside of you that you're ready to create. So let's dive in. I'm going to say hi to everybody, and we'll go a little longer. The next 2 days will be shorter. I wanted to present this to you, give you an inspirational lesson in what we're doing. I want you to agree to enter the sacred space in reverence. That means you're here. You respect the space. You respect the information. You respect yourself. I want you to be present. You let go of everything else and you focus. This is a very, very, very important thing, into this moment. You give yourself 30 minutes, an hour, 10 minutes, whatever you have, and you are 100% focused. You're not checking your phone. You're not thinking about 10 things. You're not writing a to-do list. It's not going to work. These are the sabotaging patterns and habits that we have that go along with the words we speak, that create lack, that create trauma, that create blocks, that create struggle, that create time. You know, a lot of time has to happen, not necessarily. Because like I said, when I realized that I wasn't living my divine duty by actually believing I was unworthy, that believing that it was hard to make money, that I could work really hard, but I was one of those people, and why wasn't it working? And why didn't everything work out for me? And all these victim-y ideas I had about myself. When I actually had that epiphany, when I had that massive, massive breakthrough, all of those old beliefs died right then, instantly. It was like someone peeled off the skin and threw it in the fire, and boom, I rose from the ashes, just like that. I'm not going to say effortlessly, because I screamed for an hour into the mirror, maybe longer. But it wasn't like, I'm not, it was like exploding from within me, because everything I had done had led me to that tipping point. Because for me, I want to live my spiritual purpose. And when you realize that what sin means is you are not living as a divine being, accepting that the universe loves you, has everything for you, and then you live an abundant, rich, happy life spiritually, materially, emotionally, relationally, then you realize you are, quote unquote, sinning. What that means is you are separating yourself from source, from Mother, Father, God, from the infinite, and you are not living your purpose. You are not living your divine dharma, your duty. Because the agreement you made with the universe wasn't like, oh, I've got to come here and suffer. It was come here and be the full, abundant embodiment of light, infinite wealth, infinite riches. It's inside of you. You are not separate from it. You know the laws. You're going to unpack and unravel and complete relationships and patterns and karma that is no longer needed for you to go forward. And that's what this life has been about, because we are in a time that is supporting this massive breakthrough. And when I suddenly got it, I'd heard this stuff, I'd read this stuff, I've declared this stuff, I've done this process and that process, and spent 4 hours in the pyramid in the King's Chamber 2 days in a row with my group, and I've gone to the top of this and the depth of that, and I've opened up and I've traveled universes, and I've done so many things. And every one of them has been wonderful and amazing. And they've all helped me and healed me. But it was step by step, by step, by step, by step, by step, by step, by step. And what happens? A little bit of frustration. Okay, when's this going to change? That's great. Okay, this is wonderful. But can you sustain it? For me, the tipping point was, oh my effing God, I'm not doing my divine duty. I say that my entire purpose is to fully embody my divine purpose, and I'm denying myself wealth, money, happiness. I'm feeling unworthy. That is not the truth of who I am. That's not the truth of who you are. We are literally denying our truth. And it's not offending the universe, because remember, the universe, divine mother, father, whatever, doesn't judge us. It says, okay, you want to play that game? That's fine. I'll bring you more of that trauma. I'll bring you more unworthiness. I'll bring you more failures. I manifested lots of that all through my life. I kept finding freedom and then manifesting more lack, and then finding freedom and then getting outcast again. And these are patterns and habits that are in my DNA and in my ancestor and in my mind and in my belief system. And as you do this work, everything you do, if it is freeing you even a little bit, fantastic. But I want to give you the secret that will create the foundation for you to have that quantum leap, for you to have that breakthrough. And bam, that key is going to be in your hand. And bam, you literally will never turn back. You will never turn back and embody that self. When you find your trigger, maybe your trigger isn't, I want to live a absolutely authentic spiritual life. What is your trigger? What is your desire? What is that deep thing that will pop you out of, yep, I'm going to become aware of my words, and I'm no longer speaking against myself. Okay, let's see. Hi. Done reliving it in therapy. Exactly. Now, if therapy has helped you, please don't get mad at therapy. But we no longer have to spend 30 years on a couch. And even some therapy doesn't take that long, right? You could go get some support. My sister's husband died a few years ago. It was a big, long trauma. And I remember I asked my mom, I said, how do you think she's going to do? And my mom says, I don't know. I hope she has a good therapist. Now, that's their way of doing it, instead of coming to someone like me, and they don't need to come to me for sure. I have no idea, no desire to do that with my sister. And I love my sister. Yay, I can say that now. Woohoo, yay. But it was good at the time. And it gave you awareness and it gave you tools, but it was a way of thinking of things and digging up the past over and over. These communities or cultures or families that say, never forget that we were wronged. Never forget that this bad thing was done to us. We must never forget. Okay. Good luck with that. I'm not going to live in your reality, because all you're doing is creating that again, and you're going to create that again. And we can look around the world and we can see countries that are doing that. They will not let go of their trauma. They will not take the resources of their people and create beautiful things with it. They want to keep wearing that badge as a wound, as something. And then they want to go to war. They want anger. They want blame. They want retribution. That's their right. But I don't have to play in their world. Hi, Cosmic Enigma. Absolutely. Yes. Oh my God, you should have heard me the other day. Excuse me if I'm offending you. I'm going to try not to be too loud, but I was like, fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck, fuck. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. It was that palpable. It was tangible. It was like, yes. It's like climbing a mountain and being in the clouds in the rain and the clouds in the rain, and then suddenly popping above the clouds and the sun comes up, and you're like, yes, there it is. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for us. That's what we're going to do in the next 3 days. Absolutely free. It is completely yours. And then if you decide you want to join me in the class, we've turned it into once a week. Too many people were just too stressed, but really knew that this was for them. So we're starting on Monday. We're going to do a bunch of Mondays and one Saturday all the way through June 15th. So do that. The other thing is, please come, think about coming to one of these retreats. There isn't words for what happens when you get to there. 4 women, that was all we could fit in the house in San Francisco, came. And every retreat I have ever done has just been crazy, powerful, awesome. That's just the truth. Not me. I'm just the channel and everybody coming. We co-created. But that one we just did, one lady is saying to me, it saved my life. It literally saved my life. I didn't even know I needed to be saved. And she told me, now I'm like a newborn. I'm figuring out how to support and nurture myself as this newborn person. That's what I want for you. You know, another lady, we blew open old beliefs, we connected to other memories, and we amplified magic. What is magic? Magic is what we're talking about. It is laws of the universe. It's physics, quantum physics, and other level frequencies of things too. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Susan. Woo, woo. As it raised my vibration, I feel like I'm creating with more flow. Woo, yeah. Susan's coming to Canada. Yay. Let's see what else we got. I made a choice to be kind and reply hi to a neighbor. Good for you, Tiffany, that I resented and never wanted to see again. You know, this is so powerful. I used to be embarrassed of myself. Very, 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 most of my life. I was afraid to ask questions. I didn't want people to look at me. I didn't want to ask where the toilet was. I was afraid of being yelled at. I was afraid of being criticized. I was afraid of being whatever. I never ever would have imagined I'd be a speaker or a teacher. I just would have told you, yeah, you're a crazy person. And I was very, very mistrustful of other people. I felt, even though my family I grew up with that adopted me, I never got hit. I never got yelled at. You know, they had some ideas of like, why are you so weird? You know, and all of that. But there was no conscious reason in this life why I had that fear of people. But I was the same way, Tiffany, and I was afraid of speaking up, you know, in class or other things. And one day I realized, what if they feel the same way too? What if they're afraid of people and I'm afraid of people and neither one of us breaks that? So I learned from some teacher, some book at some point, long time ago, that what if you're the one that smiles? What if you're the one that says something nice? What if you're the one that reaches out first? And it doesn't mean you let go of your integrity. It doesn't mean that you say, oh, it's okay if you keep beating me or some crazy shit like that. Okay. But what you just did is going to change your life. And if your neighbor changes and is nicer to you, great. But if you stop resenting your neighbor and you stop using that energy, now it's free and it's for you. And you can use it to create something wonderful. And you can start to imagine, you know, what kind of relationship do I want with my neighbors? Wouldn't it be amazing if, even if we never talked to each other, there was just this harmony? I'm just going to create harmony around my house and I'm going to feel like happiness. You know, I have neighbors, although they don't show up a lot because I live on the beach and it's very seasonal. But on one side of me, there is a full-time caretaker and his wife, and they're lovely. We have a lovely relationship. We say hi. They're little Mayan people. But when the owner comes out at first, oh, he loved me because I bought my house from a guy who had 40 dogs and 35 cats. So you can imagine trying to come on vacation and listening to 45 dogs. Lord. So when we moved in, they just were like, we love you. We love you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. And he's a very wealthy man who has a very superior attitude. I'll just put it that way, right? So there was fine. We were getting along good, but they love to come on vacation and put big speakers out and play boom boom music and make our windows vibrate and make my poor Chris lose his mind. And it's extremely disrespectful. It's not uncommon where I live. So, it's not like outside the culture. However, when I would have a conversation, there was a little tension, but we would find a place of peace. And then there was a little tension, and then we would find a place of peace. And then one point, I actually asked some other neighbors on a group chat. I didn't say who he was. They didn't know who I was. They didn't know where I lived. Nobody really knows me. And I just said, what do you do if you have this problem? And he got so pissed off. He texts me and he says, how dare you talk about me? And he was upset to look bad in front of the neighbors. So he has not done that again. But that wasn't my intention. I wasn't trying to bully him or guilt him into it. That was his reaction, because I said, but I didn't say your name and nobody knows who you are. So I don't know why you're getting upset. And then we had another little tension happen over something else. So I didn't like the feeling of walking through my yard with this tension, even though they weren't there. There was an icky energy. So I just decided I'm not doing that. I refuse. So I did take that intention and I started to shift who I was, how I thought of it, what I visualized, what I felt. And that's where you say, no one's stealing my dreams. Nobody gets to decide what my reality is. I'm not going to live in resent. I'm not going to live in a place where I don't feel safe. No, F that. And it's not about them. It's about me. I get to change. All right, let's see what else have we got here. Arietta, hi. Okay, good. So now, informative and very empowering. What a gift. Oh, you're so welcome. I love you and appreciate you so much. Thank you. I love you too. I hope I get to hug you and see you soon. So this is really a masterclass, in case you hadn't noticed. And so what we're going to do now, we will put this in the class because it's an excellent beginning class. And then we will separate what we're going to go into now. So let me share my screen and get a little sip of my juice here. Let's see, what have we got? La-ti-da-ti-da. Which one is it here? It's this one. Okay. Well, we started there, not sure why, but so there's the retreat in Canada. And we have, if you saw Diana yesterday, it's worth it just to, even if you're not coming, it's worth it just to be around her. She's just a beautiful, loving being. And she shared her love and everything. And we're co-creating this in such a beautiful way. So she's wanted me to come for a long time. And, of course, I'm like, okay, we'll create the retreat. I drew in the Native American healing. Wow, we're going to have this epic experience. And it's way outside the budget of the retreat. So you're going to get something pretty friggin' epic. This woman's coming for like a half a day from many hours away. Who's going to cook for us and everything. We're going to do water magic and all kinds of other stuff. So it's all there yesterday. And we do have a limit. We have 9 spots in the house. We have lowered the price, in case you've taken a look at it before, because we had 2 houses and now we're using one house that has more double occupancy rooms. So some people, the 2 people can have, one of them is taken already, a single room, but the rest are double occupancy, which is normal, right? You don't have to share a bed. And so we have 9 spots. We have 8, 7, I don't know what are left right now. And people showed up at her meeting last night who didn't even see our show because they felt the energy of that. So, of course, so you can make your plans and we can all meet up there. I feel extremely, we were there. We created such real, tangible experience between us and in the show yesterday that we were like, okay, that's done. It's done. The people are there already. We can see it. We can sense it. It is super powerful. So butterflies, phoenix, drumming, water, magic, crystals, lakes, whatever. Okay. This is the class we're talking about that will start next week. So again, if you took a look at it, it was supposed to start Friday. It was going to be twice a week. It's going to be once a week. And originally, I like to teach in a more concentrated way because I know there's a lot of distractions in life, and I want you to get really powerful results from my work. However, so many people asked about, could it just be once a week, or I can't come because it's too concentrated, that Spirit was telling me this morning before I went for my walk and then on the walk that this, like what we just did today, you could chew on for a week if you gave it time every day, if you didn't wander off to do something else, right? So it's creating your reality through the power of your words. But as you can tell by what I just described, we're talking about more than just your words. We're talking about your thoughts, feelings, and actions, because they all make up this component of who you are. And we're talking about accessing the truth that within you is the divine, infinite riches, wisdom, intelligence, and so on. It is not outside of you. There is nothing outside of you. And when this breakthrough that I had, talk about a phoenix moment, blah, boom, my field expanded in a way that I could see and feel it, because I see and feel energy, and which is one of the reasons when you come with me, it's really nice because I can see and tell you what's happening, and I get transmissions for people, and we're talk to the land, and we're together day and night, and we're doing the sunset and all of that. So, but my field expanded, and then everything is inside of me. The world, you, there's nothing outside of me. It wasn't a concept anymore. It was awesome. This is obviously the challenge that I'm giving you now. There's going to be another bonus. My word is my magic wand. So we're going to talk about conscious creation, awakening the power, and some of the other really important principles that go with this that will reinforce. And then you'll have this course. It will be like a book, where I'm already writing the book, which has way more information. And it will be a reference. It will be literally a manual, a sacred secret manual that you will get to use and refer to as you start to manifest your life more and more. That's the one we had yesterday. So let's start with this. Let me see. I might be in the wrong place. Oh, it says I'm signed out. So let's go ahead and do this here. I'll stop sharing so you don't have to look at this crap. All right, come on. I signed in several times before I got on, but it's one of those things now with the AI. Who are you? Are you really who you say you are or not? Well, we aren't, are we? We're changing who we say we are. So we are no longer who we thought we were. Okay, now let's see. Let's take a look where we are. Now we've got it on the right place. So we'll come back. Whoops, that's not the right one either. Okay. There we go. Okay, now we have the secret password. So one of the things I've been saying is that this is the Ancient Mysteries Secrets Revealed, because there's a lot of ancient secrets. There's a lot of things people talk about and teach now. Thank goodness we're learning about chakras and energy and intention and everything else. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, and I'll be sharing more because there's some refinements to the Scotland retreat. It's going to be in 2 parts, but ooh la la. So you can reach out. I'll share more about that next week. All right. So today we're doing the Book of Manifesting Secrets. This is the 3-day challenge. The intention is to open a deep and secret, hidden, encoded part of these ancient mysteries that it's time for us. We're ready. We're ready to know it. So here we are. We're on day 1. Now the book is opened. Now that's important. And I want you to affirm that. That's something you can say is like, yes, the Book of Manifesting Secrets is opened. If it's opened inside of you. That means you've now opened something, a manual, a wisdom that's inside of you. So today, how to speak your reality into being is our concept. We talked a lot about that. So why your words are secretly creating your reality. We did that, right? We've nailed it, totally stuck it. I taught my people in San Francisco that I do this thing where I get to the bottom of the stairs, something simple, like all I did was walk down the stairs, but I totally do the gymnast thing where I put my arms up, like this, and I totally stuck it. I nailed it. One lady that was there, she said, I like to say ta-da. So we would run across the room and high five each other. Ta-da! We did it. We did it. We totally stuck it. Oh my gosh. And we might just like go to the bathroom and we totally stuck it. Or we made coffee and we totally stuck it. Or we had some epic blowout experience activation. We totally stuck it. All right. You want to give yourself wins. You want to give yourself these feelings of success. Oh my God, I did it. Now I'm on a roll. You need momentum. So actually, I'm going to stop. I got to share this with you. There's this deck that I have. I think it's called the Gateway Cards. It might be by Denise Lynn, and it's a very nice, simple, direct kind of a oracle card deck. And I was having my Phoenix moments and my big breakthroughs and totally nailing it the other day. And so we even have a picture of the group of us in front of the San Francisco house when we left going like this, some woman walked by and was like, I want to take a picture of you guys. And we're like, right, we totally stuck it, So give yourself wins. Give yourself, I'm a winner. I did it. Yay me. I don't care if you just did, you got up today and you didn't feel bad. Every single thing celebrated. Okay. So look at this card that I picked. She's totally sticking it. She's standing on top of the world. And it says exceeding expectations and soaring into excellence. She's standing on top of the world, totally sticking it, acknowledging herself. That is what we're talking about, is your actions will affect your words. Your actions will affect your words and your thoughts and your feelings. And your words and thoughts and feelings will accept. So if you do this, that's a celebratory thing. That's a like expansive thing. That's opening yourself up. Not like, oh yeah, now it didn't work out, right? Like, oh, I'm working on my posture. I used to have a really horrible posture because I was so embarrassed of myself like this, so I just think this is the most delightful thing ever. And you can say these words. I'm exceeding expectations. I came today and I was hoping to get this, and I'm exceeding those expectations. And you're predicting that, and you're acknowledging that, and you're celebrating that. Okay. This is what we're talking about. And then you can say, I soar into excellence if you would like to. Okay, I had to share that. I think it was just so fun. I have to send it to all my San Francisco ladies so that they get to see. We totally stuck it. So, okay, so what are we doing? We are secretly creating our reality, but not so secretly because the universe knows we're creating it, right? And we know now all the things we talked about this morning, and you've made an agreement to show up here and to give yourself permission, right? To be a learner, to be open, to be a complete open book that is willing to learn, willing to see and understand things that you think you already know, or you think you know what it means, or you think you've decided it, or it's stuck, or it can't change. You're going to be open for it to change, for it to be different. I'm willing to change, and I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to realize, I'm willing to become aware, and I'm willing to shift and change and let go. That's the key, okay? Come to this, come to the class, come to whatever you do in your life with that attitude, and you will find the universe gives you so much, even if it's silently while you smell a flower or someone is talking, and you suddenly see the divine inside of them. And it doesn't even matter to you what they're talking about, because you just say, wow, I love myself and I love being me. And I'm radiating that to them. And I see them loving themselves. This is what we're talking about. Power. Okay, so we've got 3 days. Now, let's see if we need to talk about this or if we just join. This is old. Okay, that's from another day. So that's all we have to share right there. And you've got it all. You've got it all. You know it all. So, all right. So what we're going to do now is go into a process. As you know, Many of you are my students. Thank you so much for being in my life. Thank you really, truly, from the bottom of my heart, from the vastness of my divine, incredible, wealthy, rich, happy, joyful heart, for being a part of my reality, because you enrich me and I love to be with you. And you know that I want you to have an experience. So you've had an experience. Everything I say is going out on a frequency that is going into your field, into your chakras, into your mind, into your body, into your past, into all of these things. But it's also for your analytical mind, right? It's also for your logical mind or your masculine mind, so that you have some stuff to chew on, right? Oh, I understand. Oh, okay. And you can write it down, you can ponder it. This is great. Now we're going to let go into complete surrender of divine feminine experience. Okay. So go ahead and I'm going to feel it if there's an image that I should put up. But in the meantime, relax, turn your bing or bong or phone off or whatever. If you don't have if you feel a crystal calling you or whatever around you, you don't have to do things the way I do. You don't have to like things, and you're not at a disadvantage if you don't have a whole bunch of statues and crystals. Don't worry about it, okay? But do that for a minute. I'm going to drink, and then I will win as the spirit. I'm just sweating because spirits talks through me like this, and I don't write this. I don't script this. Nothing we've talked about was scripted. It's all stuff I know. It's all stuff I'm intending to teach, but I don't write it out and I don't read it to you. I let it flow through me. So I'm already channeling or transmitting, if you want to call it that. But I'm going to drink, and then when I'm ready, I will begin to speak. So you want to come into the moment. You want to breathe deeply in and out. Relax. Use your words to say, I'm here now. I'm safe. I'm in the right place at the right time. Let go of your thoughts that are attached to what you're doing next, what happened this morning. They're doing construction next door, and I don't know if you can hear it. There's a drill going nonstop all morning. In the past, that would have really bothered me. It doesn't bother me at all. It's just there. It just is. It's floating. Everything. Come into the sacred space and then drop into yourself with willingness, readiness, presence, and love. All right. So this little rose quartz heart is from one of my retreats where it was activated at different ceremonies and temples. It's asked to come. You might go ahead and receive it and accept it. In the ethers, it's coming to you. It's going to sit in your hand between your palms. It's going to bring that divine frequency of love, light, crystal energy, ancient wisdom, earth energy into your hands. Into your hands, okay? Into your hands. Go ahead and feel that. So as you breathe in, are you willing to give yourself this moment between the worlds, free from thoughts beliefs, limits, and all you have to do is receive and say yes, and it will begin to become so for you, to you. Are you ready and willing to step back into being the creator of your reality through ease, bliss, and joy? When you say yes, you are using your word to create something, and that energy that you're creating is a truth that's going to start to shift the inner frequencies of you, of your body and your cells. Now you're going to make a declaration, because your words are your wand, they're your command, they're your order, they're your decree. They take precedence over everything else in your life, past, present, and future, to become truth for you. I am here, and I am in the perfect place at the perfect time, opening myself to the infinite and to the field that creates without hesitation from the infinite riches within me. And there is nothing that I agree to anymore that limits me and keeps me separate from the divine energy, truth, and power that I am the creator of my reality, that my words have power and nothing can be taken from me, that this is a moment of infinite power and bliss between the worlds, that I am the one that commands, that I am the one that reveals, that I am the one that chose to be here, and I am the only one who can affect the transformation and the transmutation and the shape shifting. And now the truth is, I'm choosing, I'm speaking, and I will never again deny the power of my words. As you say these words, feel them. As you say these words, understand that you are declaring something into form, that it has to take shape, that the angels, the universe, is required by law to listen, to agree, and to lovingly and unconditionally respond with exactly what you decree and declare. If you feel any denseness, contraction, resistance, heaviness, notice it, accept it, allow it. Thank you. That's interesting. I am the creator of my reality. My word is my wand. There is nothing outside of me that creates, and I am now on a joyful, blissful, harmonious, supported, and loving path of reuniting with the truth of who I am. I am here. My divine self is here. The universe is here. We are here together. My subconscious mind now opens the secret doors. I now declare that the book of manifesting secrets of the ages that I have held within me, that I have felt separate from, now appear within me and begin to manifest, begin to appear to my senses. I am here to reclaim my power, and I no longer agree that it requires time, struggle, or sacrifice. And so it is. That's the truth. I am here to transform my awareness and therefore what I speak and think, because I am ready to reclaim the power I have to create the reality I desire, I designed, and I am designed for. Again, once you say these, ideally out loud, but inwardly, if you have to, then feel. Watch what you feel. Now choose what you want to feel. The door is open. The book is open. Nothing is separate from me. It is right here in my hand, in my heart, in my mind. It is right here at the fingertips and at the tip of my tongue. That feels fantastic. That feels exciting. That feels joyful. That feels easy. That feels abundant. That feels what? Decide, choose what you wish to feel as you declare this truth now for you. I am here committed to be the beginner's mind. I let go of knowing or resisting, and I stand here before the open door. I see the magical symbols. I feel the alchemical vibrations, the light. I hear the song singing from this book I was entrusted with, this book I brought from Source, this book on how to create my reality now. Feel what comes up. Say thank you, and now replace it with how you want to feel. Peaceful, happy, inspired, clear, aware. I am here to remember, resurrect, and reclaim the infinite riches within me, spiritual, creative, material, emotional, in every area of my life. I am the fountain of light and love, of infinite source. Now, notice your thoughts and feelings and turn your attention inside of you. Look. Look with new eyes, with curious eyes. Look with divine eyes. This book is within me. It is literally my DNA, my cells, my bones. It is my soul blueprint. It is my light body. I am encoded with this divine knowledge, this infinite wealth. Now look deeper and ask for your subconscious to open the door to the pathways of bliss, to the light and the joy, and to all those seeds that you've agreed to trip you up, to knock you down, to hold you back, to put others first. We are here to go on this adventure together. We gather together. We are entering this world. The laws of the universe are on our side, creating a flow, bringing all we need on this path. Like the Wizard of Oz, we have together heart, intelligence, courage, faith, and love. I'm ready to be happier, more peaceful, more wealthy, more aligned, full and overflowing, because these spiritual laws are here with keys to the shackles, to the blocks. They dissolve the barriers that I have believed in, that I have put my faith in. There is enough of everything for everyone, and nothing can hold me back from the divine riches within me. Cash, confidence, energy, love, peace, bliss, the wonders of the world are here. The divine wealth of the universe is now here. I breathe it in, I drink it in, I allow it to begin to circulate through me, through my blood, through my lymph, through my cerebral spinal fluid, through my brain, into my desires, into my thoughts, into my words. I see the wonders of the infinite. It's a treasure house within here. There's no lack and there's no limit. Source supplies all of my desires and needs now. There's no duty. There's no price except pure love and acceptance. And I declare now I am pure love. I create now that I am the source of infinite wealth and riches, that I am a divine source of overflowing fountain of abundance, and there is always a surplus within me. I give permission for this energy to now enter my vision and my brain and my eyes, to enter my thoughts, my feelings, and my actions. I know and believe that my life is divinely designed and guided. I am engineered for success, joy, and overflowing love, happiness, and infinite inspiration, prosperity, and peace in all forms now reveal themselves within me and to me. And I claim that my word is my wand. And I claim that my fingers and my hands hold magic, light, and the power to erase and cancel, illuminate and conjure all that is blissful, nourishing, inspirational, uplifting for me. Now take a moment in this divine place inside your subconscious mind, this vast and infinite place that holds all the past and the fears and all the joys and the dreams, and stand in the center of it. The light is shining, the path is illuminated, the flowers are blooming, the birds are singing. You sense and feel dancing, singing. The song of the universe is joyously vibrating within you. There is nothing that I am separate from now that I reclaim the power of my word. As you acknowledge and allow yourself to become aware of this luminous space and place within you, there may be a song, a feeling, a color, a symbol, frequency, or even a being, a dragonfly, a wolf, a kitten, a tree, a sunset, a spiral, a caduceus, a wand, an ancient ankh on a temple in Egypt, or a beautiful glowing candle in a sacred cave. What is here ready to reveal itself to you on this first step inside this book of secrets within you? Take a moment to tell yourself, I accept all of this, whether I understand it, sense it, feel it, see it, or not. I give permission and allow this to enter me and continue to move through my body, mind, spirit, emotions, and life in the most optimal way as I walk through my day. I am on my path. I have come back from my journeys, my travels, my trials, my heroine's journey. And now I am on the yellow brick road. It is leading me to the Emerald City, the place of my bliss my dreams and my creativity beyond imagination, the life I came here to create, live, and share. I acknowledge this is true. I banish all doubt. I accept and begin to bring this truth back into the physical world, into this moment, into this timeline, into my truth, into my mind, here and now, gently and slowly. It comes with me. Always now, I have opened this door. I have unlocked this book. It is safe for me to know these secrets again and to use them. I am secure, supported, and guided in accessing these infinite riches of all kinds. I now allow the parts of me that have the strength and wisdom to carry this and to never doubt and never derail myself. As I find myself wandering from the path, I simply breathe. I see the path, the symbol, or feel the guide, and I come back onto the path. The key is in my hand. I close the book. I rise to the conscious mind. I enter my body, my room, and this moment in time. And with a smile on my face and in my heart, I feel now a massive shift has happened. A massive alchemical transformation has occurred. I accept it, acknowledge it, decree that it is so, and give great, great thanks. So it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Now take the time that you need because you have traveled through much time and dimensions. You have moved, released, and transmuted lifetimes of heaviness, fear, vows, and contracts where you agreed to not access this wisdom and knowledge, not free yourself, and not become the manifesting, wealthy, healthy, happy, joyful being that is your soul's agreement with the universe. This will go and begin to unhook many layers. Take your time, be gentle. Don't do violent movies and other things that are disturbing. And do not tell anyone else unless they are completely aligned with you and what you believe. This is your dream. Your dream is yours. Don't share it with anyone, or they will project their doubt and negativity onto you. And like a negative entity, it will weigh you down. Come back and repeat this, the class, yes, but this part, at least one more time today. And join me tomorrow as we take the next step in creating our reality. Tomorrow, we're going to reclaim our power from fear, overwhelm, and the outside world. It's very important right now because of the overabundance of acknowledging trauma, but without releasing it. And Thursday, we're going to have the secret shortcut to speaking prosperity, peace, and possibility into being. Each of these are building on the other. Each of these will free you in a new level and a new way. Do not look for results from needing proof or guarantees, from thinking you did something wrong, or needing to know with your conscious mind. You will interrupt what is happening when you take your faith, your belief, your gratitude, your happiness away from what you have declared and chosen. Abracadabra means I now create with my words. And despite what we were shown that meant, it has sacred and ancient power. So abracadabra, declare, I now create with joy, bliss, and ease, and the support of the universe with my words. How fun was this? Thank you. I love you so much. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you. I will listen to this process when I can be in sacred space. Perfect. And I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.